6 World Cups. 6 tournaments rewriting the fabric of football history. Yesterday, we witnessed the final act of a legendary era. From his first step on the world stage to his final knockout blow, he gave everything to the beautiful game. We will never see another like him, Cristiano Ronaldo, for the unmatched greatness, the endless drama, and a lifetime of memories. Muito obrigado, Cristiano. Welcome back to yet another episode of Foot in Review, episode 36. It is day, I think, 26, but just as everything else this week, I am just lost in time. My name is John, and of course, we'll be talking about the Spain versus Portugal match and the USA versus Belgium match. And luckily, I don't talk alone today. I am joined by Mr. Blue, who does, well, proper rights to his name today, wearing a blue shirt and having a blue microphone in front of him. It's none other than Graham Homer. Graham, welcome back, my friend.
Thanks for having me back.
It is very good to have you back. How have you been doing?
A bit tired with these games going late and delayed, but I'm just plugging through.
Do you want some good news on that front?
That a lot of them are going to be reasonable time now.
Yes, we start at like 6 p.m., 5 p.m. your time, and I think 9 or 10 afterwards. So
Yep.
obviously before midnight tonight.
I think my partner will be really happy with that as well.
Yeah, it does take its toll, watching 26 days of football in a row.
Yeah, it's starting to really hit home these late nights, and then try to get up first thing in the morning after littles to no sleep. So, yeah, I'm grateful for the least amount of games possible going forward, and the better time starts.
Yeah, definitely. Well, day 36 done. Ronaldo's out. Belgium are through. Of course, all 3 co-hosts are gone as well. The quarterfinal starts tomorrow with Morocco versus France in Boston. Then Argentina, Colombia, Switzerland, Spain, Belgium, Norway, and England will follow. Although Colombia, of course, has not played yet. And Argentina, who knows, might not make it tonight. I'm not going to go there yet. Graham, shall we start with Spain versus Portugal?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, well, why not? Yeah, we have to do it. So Spain versus Portugal. This was built as Ronaldo versus Yamal. 41 years old against 18 years old. The greatest modern era forward, Shaq would say, against the tournament's brightest new talent. What actually happened was KG at this. It was a contest that never lived up to the promise. Maybe there's some things in between there. Spain had the better of it throughout, but the Portuguese squad hold on tight. It was a very entertaining first half. It was a very strategic, though cagey second half, I suppose, with a late goal from. It's been. I have too little sleep here, right? Merino, of course. Yeah, sorry. Merino scored in the 85th minute, I think, or 87th minute, something like that. Yeah, done deal. Great goal. One is enough. An interesting statistic: Spain still have not conceded a single goal yet this tournament. What are your thoughts on this match, Graham?
Good from like a technical and tactical point of view, if you like that things, but as an overall spectacle and drama, it's a bit of a damp squid. Quite boring game. If you're looking for end-to-end like goals, like some other games, but like I said, from a more tactical and like technical standpoint, it was really good. 2 teams that were trying to attack, but the other team just as good. They cancelled each other out really well, and it took a moment of real good quality to break the deadlock and let the dying embers. So I was hoping for better, but generally it was a good game.
Yeah. It was first off, Diogo Costa. How many balls did he save? He had 3 like proper saves, didn't he?
2 of them looked back to back as well. He had a few good saves.
I think he also did the bijna curler, just tipped it around the corner, like around the post. I think it's a shame. The Portuguese manager also quit right afterwards, I think.
Yeah, he said before the tournament that he would be leaving. So as soon as the game was done, that was him. But then that's normally the fate of international football. Until if you don't win, you're pretty much going home and finding yourself a new job.
Yeah. I want to highlight Ronaldo first. Like I'm going from left to right here, I know, but I respect the man not only for his performances, but I applaud him for all the hard work he does. I think we spoke about it here last night. People were like, "Yeah, Messi's better. Maybe Messi's better." I don't care that much, but I like the way he puts in the effort every single day, the hard work, the grind, never gives up. And even when things don't go his way, or maybe it's been a little bit too long on this international stage for him, could even say that. You can't say he doesn't work for it. You can't say he doesn't give it him all. And I think we should applaud him for that. I went off that match saying, this is actually a little bit sad. But then he gave an interview saying that the European Championships he won with Portugal were actually as big as an achievement as a World Cup. Maybe he shouldn't have said that, though. Graham, what do you think?
It did come across a bit of like sour grapes. But then he's trying to obviously have that more positive slant when people are trying to throw that bit of shade, you're never going to win a World Cup now. So I think he's just defending his honour a little bit in that same aspect. But like I said, I think people were quite looking for that moment, yes, you're never going to win a World Cup, Messi's better than you, than rather enjoying and reflecting what we're losing. Like you said, it may not be the naturally as gifted as players Messi, but from the scrawny teenager that tried one too many step-overs and cried when somebody pushed or touched him to the absolute disciplined machine that he became today, where he could steamroller teams on his own, is something that you've got to really look at and say, will we see that again? Somebody that can just literally give so much, that looks at everything in the game to try and find that 1% to be that little bit better every year. So it is a shame that he's leaving.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to miss him on the international stage, and to be fair, I'm not seeing much of the Saudi League. It feels like a proper end of the era. It sort of makes me sad. But then again, I think we should not only watch at what he performed here, but we should look into what he has also performed, like getting European Championship with Portugal and winning the Nation League, for example. Those aren't small feats either, right? And the amount of Champions Leagues he won, Ballon d'Ors, well, we can name everything there. Plus, I also quite like the fact he wasn't too shy to, for example, to move to Juventus as well. Just pick up that gauntlet. It's a big step going from Real Madrid, right, to another team, and then say, let's go to Italy, for all places, and performing there as well, right? Yeah, nothing but respect for him. Enough about Ronaldo, though. Yamal. Did you think Yamal delivered yesterday, or was he a little bit invisible?
I think he was a little bit quiet, but then, like I said, I think both teams really neutralised each other quite well. There was obviously moments of a little bit of quality that each team sort of kind of broke out, but obviously he's 18 years old, so this is his second major international tournament, his first World Cup, the heat, everything else. Sometimes I think people expect a little bit too much from certain people or certain players, so he is still relatively young, inexperienced to a degree, so he is going to have games where he's not going to be at his absolute best. So, but then again, he was up against the best left back in the world in Nuno Mendes as well,
who got injured and looks like a poor injury as well.
Yeah, so and then the whole Spain attack never really clicked as well. So in the moments that he was trying things, his teammates weren't exactly helping him out either. So it's one of the things where him himself wasn't at his best, but the team itself didn't really lend to him being the best of himself either. So, but the only thing is, Spain won, so does it really matter if he was glistening best when the team's the most important thing?
100% agree on you there. It doesn't matter at all. I think Spain did show, though, that the best defense can be a good offense, right? I have to admit, when I saw Portugal leave yesterday, I was a little bit sour because I expected more of him. I think you expected more of him. I went to have a look at the team once again, and I was like, they have the powerhouse, the engine of Paris Saint-Germain in their squad. And in front of them, they got the Premier League king of assists in Bruno Fernandes. And instead of having a Leao on the left side, they put in Joao Felix. And instead of, I think, like Ronaldo maybe have his time. This is, I think, a tournament where the coach just said, let's see how far Ronaldo brings us one more time. If this Portugal team refreshes now, and you should just play, I think, Leao as well. We saw how much of a difference that made when he came in. When the Ronaldo effect wears off, I think this team can actually get some more air in and shine. But like you said, Mendes, best left back, probably two, maybe even the best midfielders. Olise is probably currently on top, but after that, these two are like there, I think. Fernandes behind it. This is some squad, and it just didn't perform, Graham.
Yeah, for me, like I said, they have the two linchpins in what PSG is basically with Vitinha and Neves, but I think that they struggled not having options out wide that were of the same quality. Leao's good, but he's had a bad season, and I don't think he's had a great tournament. Neto wasn't anything great. Not Sergio, if Francisco Conceição was okay, but not great. Felix, okay, not great. Obviously, Ronaldo, like you said, Martinez was hoping for that last one act of sheer brilliance from him, where I think at times they could have brought Gonzalo Ramos on or somebody else to try something different. So I think the Neves and Vitinha missed having the likes of a Dembele or a Dewey or a Kvaratskhelia out wide to give them that sort of pace. I think Mendes missed that as well, having that sort of link up that he normally has. So it could be, like you said, once the whole burden of trying to push Ronaldo to something leaves, you become more of a collective, cohesive unit as a team that plays for each other than through someone else. So, but I did think that they could win it. Like I said, I thought just having Fernandes, then Fernandes, Vitinha, Neves, Nuno Mendes. They've got Diaz. I thought they had the quality to go far, but I don't think everything was just a little bit flat for me. There was never that attacking killer instinct to really go and put a game to bed, get 2, 3, 4 goals. It was always get one and coast, or just nick that one and see how it goes.
Yes, I had the same feeling with Portugal, from which I had to Brazil. There's more in that team, but they're a little bit stuck in the past. I had the same feeling with the Dutch squad. There's more in this team, but they're stuck in the past. The manager is also very loyal to players. Same with Brazil, same with Portugal, same with Belgium, which we'll talk about in a moment, who kept playing with De Bruyne, who didn't perform, for example. We'll talk about that in a moment, because the first thing they did this match is get De Bruyne on the bench, and let's see how that went out. But yeah, you have to refresh sometimes, and I know it's hard. We've seen it in Germany, by the way, as well. Sometimes it's just good to let the talent shine through and take the stage, and therefore you need a manager that allows it. And it's hard though, because of course, as an international manager, you don't see the players that often. And if someone delivered to you and is faithful to you, how hard must it be to drop him based on results they did at the club, right? And you play like 4 or 5 matches at most of the teams. But I think that what differs a great manager over a manager that has performances in the past in the international level.
I think Deschamps is probably the best guy to look at when it comes to it, because he had that great team in 2018 where it was Pogba, Matuidi, Griezmann, Kante, Giroud, and he phased them all out. People were arguing that Griezmann could have had this one last stand this year, and he was like, nope, at least he's the guy. So I think France, I think a lot of people were expecting it to be the team of egos and individuals, where I think they've shown to be the best blended and playing through each other than through that one individual. So I think if you're looking for a manager on a team that really shows how this international game has to be played, they are the pick of the bunch at the moment.
100% agree. And the fact they switched from very defensive football to very attacking football in a matter of 2 years within one tournament is an amazing feature as well, which we'll probably discuss on one of those resting breaks, because it definitely needs an own topic. Halfway through the show, halfway through the matches we've now seen, that means it's time for a hydration break, but we'll keep it short for this hydration break, because we know the crowd is always booing whenever they happen, and also the referee is like, hey, I can't help it, but it's just part of how this works. Talking about how this works, if you like this show, support us with a 5-star review on either Spotify, which will just take 1 second. Just click on the show, click on a 5-star. That's it. Or drop us a 5-star review on Apple, which takes 15 seconds or maybe 10 if you're really quick, which we also very much appreciate. And if you leave a comment on Spotify, we will definitely get back to you and give you a little shout out. If you have a question, we'll make sure we get that answered as well. Hydration break passed. How was it for you? Have you rested up?
Yeah, I'm good, ready to go.
Yeah, don't do like Pochettino and kick all your water on though. Talking about Pochettino, we had USA versus Belgium. Of course, Belgium was angry. The whole world was angry. And Martinez says, this was the easiest pep talk I ever had to give. I just said, hey, it's us against the system. We tonight have 7 billion fans behind us. Show them what we're worth. And Graham, they did. They beat USA 1-4, and Belgium were dominated from the start to finish, and it was not even close. The Ketelaar struck in the 9th minute after a USA defensive error. Tillman equalized with another stunning free kick, who deflected off Van Aken into the net. But the Ketelaar completed his brace on minute 33, just 2 minutes later. Then in the 57-minute freeze, came to a freeze, well outside the box, mishandled the ball, and Van Aken scored from deep. As Ream, who had an absolutely atrocious match, just to say there, was failed to block it. The USA was finished. Pulisic went off injured and was crying in the 59th minute. And Lukaku sealed it in stoppage time and did a little dance, which at least Pulisic did not appreciate that often. Belgium went through 4-1, and that means the loss of the co-host is out. Of course, Graham, the story before kickoff was Balogun. I think we did some topics about yesterday, and half the world spoke about it, if not the whole world. He was back. He played. I saw him once. I think the Belgian team, like I said, was their stable team. They beat Senegal, which was a real show of power, like a show of determination. But that team just came loose after De Bruyne got sopped off, and they switched the all players around. They started with that team now, so without De Bruyne. Suddenly, the Red Devils look good to me, Graham.
Yeah, I think they're still missing something for me personally. Attacking wise, I think, yeah, they did score 4 goals, but to be honest, I don't think the United States is a great nation as a footballing team, so I didn't expect USA to win. I thought Belgium would win quite comfortably. I did expect quite a few goals. I know everybody will say it was only a friendly game, but there was one before this tournament started, which Belgium, what was it, 4-2, 5-2?
5-2, but
5-2.
Pulisic said that was because of the kid clash. So just the kids clashed too much, and that's why they couldn't perform. Just putting it out there.
Yeah, I wasn't buying it then, I'm still not buying it now. Belgium, America, Balogun and Tillman's probably the best 2 players. I know people link to Pulisic, McKennie, maybe Reina, but they're guys that have been here and they've never lived up to it personally. I know obviously Pulisic is at AC Milan, McKennie's at Juventus. They're at big teams, but I just don't think that they've ever hit that level that they were supposed to hit. Their defence is very weak. Friedman's a good talent, but he's young and inexperienced. Tim Ream, he's old, he's slow. I don't know, other than leadership, he doesn't really bring much. Chris Richards has never really been a great centre-back in a 2 partnership. He's done well this year at Palace because he's in a free, so he has that protection. I just couldn't see how United States won this game. And I think that's with a Belgian team that's still not perfect.
Courtois said after the match, everything that happened before the match did not influence us. We laughed about it. We just thought this would be an easier match than Senegal because we think Senegal is a better team. Either that was an ultimate insult or they actually felt that way. What do you think?
I'll argue slightly better. Senegal are a better team. I think they're more of a complete team. Senegal will press you hard. They'll push you for the first 60, 70 minutes, but then, like we seen, the gas out. So if you that's a challenge where United States, they try and play nice football, but they just don't have the players to really perform it the way they want. So I think he is right that if you are going into a game of football, I know Rudy Garcia said that it was a great team talk and it was an easy team talk, but we were discussing it beforehand and everything in our own chats that I don't think Belgium really needed the pep talk or the added motivation. They'd already beaten them. They're easily the better team, and they've proven that they can bounce back from being literally a kick away from being out the game. So I don't think it was a dig or an insult. I think it was just Courtois being very blunt and very honest.
Something that really stood out for me was actually a lot of mistakes on the USA side. I always keep forgetting the defender's name, which I'm sorry. It is, I did write it down somewhere. He missed the second cross. The older defender. Come on, help me out here.
Ream.
Ream, yes, Ream. He was really poor. Like defending, only watching the ball, not watching the player. Ketelaar just running past him twice. Well, multiple times actually, because they could have scored more in the first half as well. I think the goalkeeper, like you said, Fries is a real talent. But he's at New York, am I correct?
I think so. American football's not my.
No, I thought
point.
he was at. I think he's at New York. But correct me, please, in the comments if I'm wrong. A mistake like that will happen sometime. I mean, I don't think that's a defining moment at all in this tournament. But if you see how much the midfield just delivered the ball back to Belgium, how many missed passes. Sergino Dest, who plays at PSV, very experienced ex-Barcelona, absolutely horrific yesterday. Couldn't pass a ball into someone's feet if he was 3 feet away. The pressure, I said that yesterday in the chat, the pressure that has been put on this squad with the return of Balogun might actually broke them before the match even started. It felt. There was so much pressure on these lads now that you could only lose. If you win, it's because, hey, the red card got suspended. If you lose, it's like, yeah, but there's so much pressure on you. It didn't even matter at all. Instead of helping, I think this actually brought the spotlight on the team. And I think the experiences show that this team wasn't ready for these spotlights. Because they lost on individual mistakes, not necessarily because Belgium was that much stronger. And they were also very much stronger. So combine that, they will end up in a 4-1, right?
Yeah, there was a noose around their neck. Like you said, if they won, it was because Balogun and the red card situation. If they lose, then it's, well, that's karma, that's your comeuppance. So they were damned if they won, they were damned if they lost. But like you said, too many individual mistakes, far too many mistakes. Ream, I know I'm talking to a lot of American people, they were confused that why he was being picked. I know he's the captain, or he was the captain with the vice captain, because obviously Pulisic had gone off. But people were looking for somebody like an Aaron Trusty or a Mark McKenzie to play. But I think, like I said, his experience more than his ability was the reason why he was picked. And I don't think that was enough, to be honest, because he struggled every opportunity they had. I generally thought Mikel, the Belgian centre-back, might have had the same sort of issues against Balogun, but
yeah,
it just shows that the thin difference or the thin line of what can happen in a game of football, where Ream was the one that ended up like that, where he just struggled against power, pace, everything, like just couldn't cope.
Well, the difference is also if you have Ream in front of you with an unexperienced goalkeeper, the goalkeeper gets a little bit nervous as well. While the Belgium still have Courtois in goal, and although he didn't have much to do in goal itself, if you see how often he just steps in, takes the ball off, builds up again, gives a good pass away, oozes calmness in his defense. There's no replacing that. So, and that goal was unlucky because it bounced off, I think, Van Aken said, but else they wouldn't even get a goal in, I think, either. So.
No, that the deflection completely caught Courtois off guard. That was going completely the other way. Had it covered, and then Van Aken's little flick just had him wrong-footed.
It's happened to me before. It's time for Daily Topic, and we're running a little bit out of time, so we're gonna pace things up again. It's time for the baller, the bottler, and of course the rum of the day. Let's start with the baller. I think it's safe to say, Graham, that the baller should be Charles de Ketelaar. He's been, well, one of the quietly outstanding players of this entire tournament. Belgium now are in the quarterfinals to face Spain, and the Ketelaar is actually wide this match. Charles de Ketelaar, the baller of day 36. Do you agree?
Yeah, there was not much overall quality in either games from an individual perspective for me. So, yeah, de Ketelaar would get it.
Yeah, I had one stand. I could also set Mourinho because his goal, perfect goal, great attack. And just saying Mourinho's netted 9 goals in his last 17 appearances. So that's some stat as well. But because he got substituted in, I think that's why we didn't pick him. Still, shout out to him. Then, the bottler of the day. Can we safely say, without insulting literally more than half of our crowd, it was the USA yesterday?
Yeah, because there's only 2 games, there's very little you can pick from. Unfortunately, USA has to be the recipients of this award. That I feel it's a bit, like I said, damned if they did, damned if they didn't, but the pressure put on them, a lot of Americans thought they were going to win it quite comfortably, and they just didn't live up to it at all.
No, and I think the problem here is, for me, I was thinking about this morning, I was sitting down, it's like, actually they made it to the last 16, right? Or the last 32, the round of 16. It's a heck of a performance if you come to think about it. But all we're talking about is a red card previously given.
Yeah, I thought Mexico would be the one that went the furthest, and they've ended up obviously joint. Obviously, I was surprised America got this far, but well done. That it was a good achievement. But like you said, everything's going to be overshadowed by something off the pitch rather than on the pitch.
Yeah, so I want to give my compliments to the Team USA because they did show us some great football at the start. This might be a little bit too far off, and I don't think it got helped by the circumstances, which we've talked enough about. I think there's potential there, though. But again, Pulisic ain't the man you want to hold on, and neither is the defender. You need to get more talent in, get more matches in, play friendlies against stronger opponents, I think, and get some experiences in. And maybe Pochettino's actually the man for the job. I think that could even be a good chance. But they've shown the world that soccer is on the rise for them. Let's put it like that. I applaud them for that. It's just unfortunate that this is not where they will be remembered for, unfortunately.
Yeah.
The drama. Well, there's much drama going on in this World Cup now. But let's resume it that it is that all 3 co-hosts are now out at the round of 16. So we have Canada, Mexico, USA. Everyone is out. Just a shame, right? It's always cool when one of the host nations or the host nation gets far. Do you think this will dampen the mood a bit in the US?
Yes and no. I think a lot of people with the United States getting a little bit further, Canada, Mexico football's massive, so I don't think it really dampened the mood overly too much for them. But for the other 2, I think it might kill the joy a little bit because their home nations are now out. But I think in general, the love for the sport might just have caught enough people for it to still keep going.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, it's been a great tournament, except for the drama of yesterday. Until yesterday, this was a very cool tournament. It's a little bit soured, but let's hope. We have 10 more matches left, I think, Ream, in total. Just quickly out of the top of my mind, so I might be wrong. We got one last round of 16 tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tonight. And then we have, of course, the quarters. So that's 8.
I'm trusting your maths there.
Well, I don't. We've got a couple of matches. We got a couple of matches left. And we've seen so many matches so far. I'm looking forward to the 2 matches tonight. What do you think? Argentina tonight?
I think they'll just shade it again. I was surprised at how bad they were against Cape Verde, to be honest. I think the Egypt they're playing tonight, obviously. I'm not sure. I think they'll beat Egypt. I think they should. I think 3-1. I think there'll be at least a 2-goal buffer between them.
Yeah, I think Egypt is on half strength currently. Even we said it before. Salah is injured, but play in. So, but again, if they stop here, if the story ends there for them, they did really well. But I don't think they'll give up without a fight. So that's going to be interesting to see. And we have Switzerland versus Colombia. I think Colombia is one of the very underrated teams nobody speaks about, but they played some proper football so far. Graham, what do you think?
I think this one's probably the better tie to watch. I think in terms of ability and level players, I think they're quite even in a way. It'll be an interesting way of philosophy as well. Switzerland's a bit more of a disciplined team, where Colombia's a more attacking and try and play in the right spirit of the game. So I think this could go either way, but I think Colombia just will tip it.
Yes, I think I agree with you. Switzerland is actually a really stable team, like you said, so don't underestimate them. But I quite like what I've seen from Colombia so far. So let's go. And it would be good to have a non-European team go through as well. Yeah. Perfect. Great. Thank you so much. And thank you all for listening and watching us. And of course, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.